Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to install most, if not every, over-the-range microwave. Let's get to it. Alright, before we get started, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and identify what you're going to find when you unbox your new microwave, as well as the tools I'm going to be using for installation. So we'll start off with the components that will come with the microwave. Of course, you're going to get some grease filters that will come with your microwave. So obviously, when this is packaged up, it's a possibility that this will be inside with the owner's manual, either inside the microwave or sitting on top of a styrofoam piece that is over top of the microwave. So you're going to want to make sure you thoroughly go through the box to find all the different parts I'm getting ready to mention to you. A lot of them will be needed for not only installation but after installation as well, to complete the install. So grease filters are number one. Number two is you're going to have some parts for ventilation. These are parts that come with this particular model microwave, so keep your eye out for these kind of parts. You're also going to have a bag of hardware that are some screws and just a couple of different parts that are needed for installation, as you can see here. So look at this is a mixture of not only the mounting screws to secure the unit, but also for securing the bracket, which I'll talk about during installation. And then of course you're going to get your owner's manual, installation instructions possibly, and templates that are needed for installation. So look for those templates. You are going to need them in later steps. There's a wall template and a under cabinet template. So those are definitely some templates you're going to keep an eye out for. The other thing is that you'll also be that will be included are things like your turntable and the ring that goes underneath the turntable. So look for these parts, they're needed. And then depending on the microwave that you purchased, it may come with a center rack that goes inside. It may also come with some additional parts if it's a convection microwave. So get all that stuff unpackaged. This way you can identify the difference between accessories that come with it and of course installation hardware. The final thing that comes with the microwave, which I saved for last because it's easily it's hard to find, I should say, is not always, but it is the mounting bracket. Depending on the microwave you purchased, as soon as you unbox the unit, you may see the mounting bracket, the wall bracket right there sitting in the styrofoam, or it's actually going to be located on the back of the microwave. So that's going to be where you're going to find it. And I've already removed this one, but typically it's secured to the back of the microwave with these screws, like a screw on each side, one here, one on the other side. So it's secured to the back of the microwave. What you're going to want to do is remove it from the back of the microwave and put the screws back that were holding it. So look for your mounting bracket. It's either going to be, again, secured to the back, or it'll be within your styrofoam packaging. And then moving on from that, the tools I'm going to be using to install this unit are going to be a drill with mainly a Phillips bit. So just get yourself a drill with your preferred, like a standard full-size Phillips bit. And then I have a multi-use screwdriver that has a few different attachments. You're only gonna mainly need probably the Phillips head. And then I got a level. I have a stud finder. And I got some paddle bits. You're gonna need to drill the cabinet for the mounting screws and for the power cord. On the paddle bits, it's likely you're gonna need a 1.5 inch paddle bit for the power cord, and then you're gonna need either a 3/8 or a 5/8 inch paddle bit for the mounting screws that secure the unit. So you're gonna want to reference the owner's manual. The installation instructions that will tell you specifically what size you're going to need. And then finally, a step stool, step ladder, something to allow you to give you access above the microwave. And that's what comes with the microwave and the tools we'll need. Moving on to the first step of installing your microwave is going to be preparing it for installation. So the main thing with preparing your microwave is going to be related to the ventilation type. What you're going to need to do is look at you know, obviously depending on your current setup in your home. If you have, there's 3 different options as to how the blower motor that comes on at the top of every microwave it can be set up. It's possible that either you're going to have a vent coming through like through the ceiling or through the wall, I'm sorry, and then facing on the rear part of the wall there, or it'll be coming through the ceiling into your cabinet and accessible in the cabinet above. Those are going to be the 2 ventilation ways. And then of course finally is the third way, which they make the microwaves universal to where if you don't have an exhaust vent or a vent going outside of your home, you can set them to recirculate, which is what we have here. We don't have a vent, as you can see, neither on the wall or in the cabinet above. So I don't have any ventilation at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to flip the fan. This way, this is just a part that you may be doing. Depending on the model, microwave, and brand that you purchased, they either will come set to already recirculate, and if so, it's going to look something like this. If you want to take a look, you don't see any blades here, so it'll look just like this, sealed up. Or the other option is it'll actually show you the blades, which I'm going to show you that real quick. That's something that you'll be doing as you do your installation. So this is a quick step right here. So once you remove the screws, you'll see up here there's going to be a few screws that are holding this bracket in place. Once you remove those screws, this will slide out of the way, and then now I have full access to my blower fan here. And on the rear side, actually, there's a couple more screws, which yours might as well. So there's a little cover. Let me get that moved first so I can show you that. So this is in the back. There's 2 more screws on the rear side that are also holding this fan motor. That's these 2 screws right here too. So let me go ahead and pop those off real quick. And now I'm able to move this. And depending on your setup, all you're gonna need to do is simply lift it out of the place and just turn it upright so that it could vent if it's going straight through the cabinet, through the ceiling. That's the way you'd want it. The other option is if it's venting through the rear wall, you're gonna need to punch out these little covers right here on this side, and then turn this to where you're gonna have to do a little bit more of a turn. So make sure you do this properly, or else it just it won't sit right. So you just remove this over, flip it to the other side, and then this simply just goes like this and drops into place. But these should line up perfectly into this space right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine back the way it was, because we are gonna be recirculating, and it's simply just gonna go right here. And once that's done, I'm gonna place my screws back into place to hold it in place. And then I'll also point out to you these other ventilation parts. This particular microwave has a couple things that they recommend, or they include for the safety reasons. And that's these little covers right here. It's a warning. It tells you not to discard this plate. Apparently, according to this, it prevents risk of fire. So it seals what it needs to do. This particular one goes on the rear side, covers, and it's got already the slots that I'm sliding it into. And then there's one more that actually comes with it, that if you are recirculating, it simply slides over the top. And I'm gonna resecure this, but this slides over the top right here, just like this, and it's secured in place through the holes. Now, one thing I will direct your attention to before we move on to the next step is this piece right here is only, of course, needed if you are venting through the roof. So either on this part, it would attach right here. So if you were venting through the roof, through the top, this is gonna go right here. It attaches just like that, and then you hook up your exhaust vent right through here, and this will sit right here at the top. Or the other option is going through the wall on the rear side. Same idea. So it would simply just go through these little grooves right here, and just like that, and then it does the same thing. So, and that's preparing the microwave for installation. All right, so the next step is going to be mounting the wall bracket, of course, which is for supporting the microwave. And what I like to mention is if your setup is similar to mine here, where you're installing your microwave above your stove, my recommendation is to slide the stove out of place. It makes it a lot easier to get where you need to get to have the space that you need to install the microwave. So if you do have this set up, definitely slide the stove out of the way. However, if you're working over top of a cooktop where it's just into your countertop, I recommend you go ahead and turn the breaker off turn off the breaker to the unit and cover it so that you just have a nice clean surface just to work. So you'll have this just in place wherever you need it, and then of course by having the breaker off, you won't risk it turning on or bumping into it to turn it on. So let's go ahead and get started with the steps for mounting the bracket. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this out of place. This is an awesome unit. It's actually on wheels. So I'm just gonna slide it over here and show you what's next here. So basically what you're gonna be looking at, if you keep in mind, or remember what I mentioned, is at this point, you're gonna be looking for your mounting bracket. So at this point, I'm hoping you got it ready to go, but remember, I removed mine from the back of the microwave, and I've already gotten it ready to go. So now, once you have that bracket in hand, what you're going to want to do is identify. The first thing you're going to want to do is identify if you have a stud on the wall where you're going to be installing the unit. So if you're going to have go ahead and grab your stud finder at this point, and I've already done the work, so my stud's right here. That's pretty much where this line is, and that's good. That's where I found my stud and secured my wood screw too. And for the opposite hole, I went ahead and ended up using a toggle bolt. So what you're going to want to do at this point is go ahead and locate your template, which is it's considered a rear wall template, which will tell you where you're gonna where you're gonna properly place the mounting bracket. So what I did is, once I found my stud, I knew, okay, I drew a line, so I had a general idea of where where my wood screw was gonna go, and I kept that in mind. At this point, what you do is you take your rear wall template, and you can see dotted lines. It shows you it's pretty much cut out for this exact space. And it shows you where your bracket's gonna go, right here along the bottom. And you could just mark. What I did is I just pretty much, in this case, I knew, okay, this was my line. I marked where my wood screw was gonna go with just a small pin, just to show me where I was gonna be going with that screw. And then for the opposite screw, I use the toggle bolt. So I just like to always use the ones that are easy to identify. Since this is identified as A, I just went to the other side where my A is and did that. So go ahead and grab your rear wall template. This way you know where your bracket's gonna go. And now, first thing I'll show you, I love the use of toggle bolts. They are actually designed to hold quite a bit of weight. And the way that they work is, we know our A is there, so the way you do is you grab the toggle bolt that comes with it. That's this guy right here, and you go in from the front side of the bracket, in through the bracket, and you just start the toggle just so that it is actually threading. So you want to make sure that you go in far enough that once it goes through the wall, it doesn't actually it'll butterfly properly. So I go in, just make sure it actually goes, it threads on. So once you have your toggle bolt in place, that's gonna be, you know where that's gonna go. And obviously, as I mentioned, you've already marked the hole where you're gonna drive your wood screw. And at this point, what you would do for the toggle bolt, this particular size toggle, which the majority of them are, is you're gonna drill about a 5/8 inch toggle. So That's what I used for the toggle bolt. And on the wood screw side, I just pre-drilled it with a 3/16 inch bit because the screw size is pretty thick. So that's the wood screw that comes with it. You can go less if you want, or if you got a pretty powerful drill, it might do it on its own. But it's a lot easier if you actually pre-drill it with a 3/16 inch bit, and this will actually go in nice and smooth. But that pretty much, once you have just one thing that I want to recommend about the mounting bracket, that's not the only thing that is in fact holding the microwave. This is pretty much primarily used to support the back of the microwave. So once your microwave is hung, the back of the microwave is not sliding down. It doesn't play, it's secure, it's in place. But that's what these are. As you can see, if you look closely here, this bracket has these hooks. So once we hang the microwave, the lip of the rear lip of the microwave sits here, and then it's supporting the back of the microwave from coming down the wall. And then really what's holding the microwave up is in fact your cabinet. And what we're gonna do is show you how to prepare your cabinet in the next step. Okay, so now the next step, of course, as I mentioned, is gonna be preparing the cabinet for the hardware, the screws that are gonna be securing the unit to the cabinet. If you're replacing an existing microwave, you may get lucky and the placement for the screws might be in the same spot. Now, it's a possibility that, you know, they are, but if don't be surprised if the screws, you know, the holes don't line up, don't match up. What you're gonna wanna do at this point is go ahead and locate your upper cabinet template to verify that. And that's this right here. So it's an upper cabinet template that comes with the unit. And this particular microwave that I'm installing has 2 screws that are used to secure the unit. One here on this side, one on the opposite side, left and right. They're usually extreme opposite sides is where the screws are secured to the unit. And I'll show you on the microwave that placement as well. So there's one there, and then on the opposite side there. So those are the locations for on this particular one. Your model may actually include a 3rd hole, which, you know, it just depends on the model and the brand. But typically there's of course minimum 2 screws. The other hole that is that the other things on this particular cabinet or the template you'll find is where you're going to want to drill the hole for your power cord. And this is calling for a 2-inch diameter paddle bit for that. And for the screws, it's a 3/8 inch paddle bit. The other thing that's also included, as you can see, is right here. If you're venting through the roof, it shows you where your cutout needs to be for the vent, that if it were to be vented through. So if you have a fresh, brand new cabinet, this template tells you everything that you're gonna need to prepare the cabinet. But I'm going to show you what I do, just a couple things to make it a little easier for drilling out the screws. What I like to do is, after you're here, I'll point this out. I have a little bit of space between the lip, the front lip, and the bottom of the cabinet. So I didn't actually drill, being that I had the space there. I didn't have to drill the hole for my power cord here from a prior microwave that I had installed. I already had a hole, and I'm able to reuse that same hole. Now, I wasn't so lucky with that with regard to the screws. I actually had to drill new holes for the screws. And the best way to do that is simply go here, get the template in place best that you could, and then once you have it fully in place there, you can easily just shift over to one side, make sure it's pushed against the back of the wall, and grab your drill bit with a 3/16 inch drill bit and puncture first through the hole for the screw, and then go through the bracket. This is just something that I do, by the way. This is not anything in any manual, but this just makes it so much easier. So I go through the cabinet. This way I can mark where my hole is going to be for the screw. So after I do that, I shift over to the opposite side, make sure it's stretched out, do the same thing. I'm going to drill right through here, make sure you're right, nice and straight, go right through here into the cabinet. Now you've marked where your screws are going to be going through the cabinet into the top of the microwave. And with that point, now you can take the proper size paddle bit, whether it be 3/8 or 5/8 inch, and drill out the holes for your screws. Again, start to drill through. Now that you know where it's at, start the hole from the bottom, but don't fully go through the cabinet, because most cabinets will easily just split. So once you get it started from the bottom, come back through the top. This way you can get a nice clean cut. You can take a look. I mean, I have a bunch of holes. I've installed multiple microwaves in this spot, but you can kind of see what's going on. I got all these different holes because I've installed so many different microwaves in this particular location. But you could see, unfortunately, there's very many times where they're going to overlap. They're super close. And then in some scenarios, if you're in that position, you're probably going to want to, see if you can get your hands on some washers. I have some washers. I've actually need some washers because the holes were so close to overlapping. But I needed washers to actually cover. That's these right here, to cover so that I'm able to place my screws in place. These don't unfortunately come with. Some microwaves can get them, but a lot of them don't come with washers. But if you're having to drill like a hole on top of another hole, it's just to have a screw properly secured, get some washers, and that pretty much prepares the cabinet for installation. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Now on to the final step, which is hanging and securing the unit. All right, and now for the final step of hanging and securing your microwave. But before we do that, let's just have a quick recap. First thing we did, of course, was preparing the microwave, and in doing so, you set up your fan motor accordingly based on the ventilation, whether you had it recirculating like this particular one we're doing, or if you're venting it through your vent going through the roof. The next step was securing your bracket to the wall, and of course make sure that is level, that you have that on leveled with the placement on both sides, so that there's not any play once the microwave is in place. And then we also prepared our cabinet by drilling out the holes for the screws and the power cord. Now we can go ahead and I'll show you when I'm doing this. A lot of the times I'm installing this microwaves, I'm doing it by myself, which is not advised by any manufacturer. Typically, you want to have an extra set of hands, but because I've gotten so used to doing them on my own, what I like to do is prepare my site. If you're doing this on your own, what you're going to want to do is get your step stool in the right place for you to be able to get access. Because once you're hanging the microwave, you're gonna be using your body, pretty much both of your arms. But get your drill up top, get your screws in place. I got my screws up top here. I put them so I have easy access to them. But I got everything what I need in the place that I need it. So get that stuff ready so you're not trying to reach for it while you're grabbing the microwave. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how that looks. So the one thing that before grabbing it, I'll remind you, there's 2 hooks, or possibly 4 on your bracket. So in order for us to hang this microwave, you're gonna wanna go in at an angle above the bracket and come down so the rear part of the microwave hooks into the bracket, and then I'm gonna go, drive the microwave up, but while also fishing the power cord into the cabinet above. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. We'll grab that, and as I said, you can see we're going here, just like that. I'm against the wall. So once that's you'll be able to hear it click. So these cabinets are super high, so I just had to make sure I got into the right place. But once you get that in place, you can take a look here before I fish the cord, but you can look down here at the bottom where the hooks that are on the bracket are going in to the back side of the microwave. So you could see that there, one side and that side. Now, as I'm supporting the microwave up, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and fish my power cord in through the cabinet, just like this, and the microwave is up. Once that's in place, I'm gonna go ahead and locate your mounting screws. As I said, I have a washer, and then that simply just get that started. And once I do that, I could go ahead and secure these screws. Just like that. and that's in place. Once you get those tightened down, for almost fully, I like to go ahead and grab a screwdriver and just, give it a feel for myself, because the drill can be misleading sometimes. I like to just make sure I got it tight here, and plus I don't like to go fully tight with the drill, just so that I don't break the placement where the screw actually goes in, the nut that the screw goes into. Those are nice and tight, and then of course I also will fish through any excess cord, so it's a clean cut, and I can go ahead and plug this this microwave in, and we have power. After you have the unit installed, of course, the other thing that you're going to want to locate is the grease filters. These are pretty cool. If you keep up with them, top dishwasher rack could keep them clean. You don't have to worry about replacing them so soon. They're not, they're pretty thin, but these are going to be located, depending on the microwave you're installing, it will determine the size. Most of them are going to be about like this, but some of them are a little bit bigger, and sometimes it's just one longer one. But you're going to install these down towards the bottom. So we're going to turn this light on, and you can see they simply just go in, and then it just slides into place just like that. So you can see those grease filters. The other thing is, of course, is get your turntable in the microwave as well. That's this here. The ring goes in on the bottom first, so that will go inside the microwave. And then the turntable has some notches there that will line up for the carousel in place, and that sits good. The one thing that also will come possibly with your microwave that I mentioned is this rack and other accessories. You're not supposed to store these items in the microwave. You're actually gonna, if you're using it for whatever setting on your microwave, use it and remove it. But you don't want to actually, you don't want to store it in the microwave. The only thing that should stay in your microwave is the turntable. Those parts can stay. And there you have it. That's how to install almost every or any over-the-range microwave. There might be something out there that I'm not catching, but those steps should walk you through your installation. I really hope this video helps. If you enjoyed watching, give me a like and subscribe for more. Thanks.